Hello, Oslo. Hello, Oslo. Oh, that's better, that's better. So thank you very much for giving me a little bit of your time today. Do you guys know the word, the term sheroes? Does anybody know what a shero is? Okay, there are heroes. Do you know the word heroes? All right, and that's for men. Sheroes are all you ladies in the room, so I want you all to give yourselves a great round of applause. So as mentioned before, my name is Dr. Yvonne Thompson, and I've got one of those CBEs given by the Queen, which I heard earlier on. I chair something called the Radio Academy, which is the UK's charity for the UK's radio stations. I'm also the founder of an organization for women entrepreneurs called WinTrade Global, and it's a platform for women entrepreneurs across the world. I've been in the equality and diversity space for over 40 years, and whilst I can't download and share everything with you that I've learned in that past 40 years, I do want to make you think. So like Socrates, do you know Socrates? The Greek philosopher? He said, I'm not here to teach you, but I'm here to make you think. So hopefully today I'm going to give you some things to think about. So first and foremost, I want to talk to you about race with the intersectionality of gender, or gender with the intersectionality of race, and why it's important for your workforce. So it's all about future-proofing your workforce and your business. Having a diverse workforce eliminates groupthink. We've heard this before today. Eliminates groupthink. It opens creative diversity. It opens creative diversity of thoughts, diversity of culture, diversity of personalities. We all learn so much more about each other when we're not sitting next to people who look like us, think like us, and is exactly the same as us constantly. So the experience for your business, it widens up the experience for your business altogether. So according to a McKinsey report recently, having a healthy gender balance gives your company a better chance of outperforming your competitors by at least 15%. When you look at that with ethnic balance, it goes up to 35%. So obviously it's not, again, like gender, ethnicity is not necessarily a nice thing to do. It's not a good thing to do. It's imperative to your business if you want to future-proof your business. And more recently, when asked about their thoughts on diversity through a LinkedIn survey, 85% of the companies said diversity and inclusion is at the top of their list. But yet, 45% of those asked didn't have a strategy. They do not have a D&I strategy. So what I want to do is just to share some ideas and give you some things to think about, to make you think. So, do you know who is imperative to your company to make it future-proof, to make it profitable, to ensure that you have the right people working in the right places at the right time? This can sometimes be a daunting question, but there are some points to consider when you begin that journey. In fact, before you begin that journey, rethink your actual requirements. Rethink what you actually need for the job. Don't overpad your job description and what it is you need. Make it easy for more diverse audiences to come and work with you, to want to be part of your journey. Think about more creative ways of getting them involved. When you look at your job description, make sure that the language is right, the communication is right, that you go down the right routes of reaching the right people. And also, you have to keep in mind that sometimes job descriptions are the portal to the heart of your company. It's like a window. So what you want to do is make sure that anybody looking through that window and wanting to come into your company gets the right impression so that you can get the right people. You need to experiment and be creative when you're attracting or when you want to attract the right candidates. You have to ensure that you don't have bias creep. Think about creating accessible events. Think about creative ways in which you can reach those new audiences. Go to where they go. See the kind of things that they see. Hear what they hear. And be more in their loop. According to another LinkedIn survey in 2018, a recruitment survey, 88% of women, it said 88% of women are open to new job opportunities as compared to 90% of men. But guess what? 16% of women are less likely to apply for that job. And do we know why that would be? Can anybody tell me why that might be? Come on, I'm told that we need to warm you guys up, or you ladies up. Why would that be? Someone shout.
Impostor syndrome.
And it takes a man to tell me that. Can you say that again?
Impostor syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. So ladies, there's a man telling you you've got imposter syndrome. Come on, let's prove them wrong. Let's do something about this. So, when you're thinking about, have I got the right slide? When you're thinking about things that you can do to make sure that your pipeline is as diverse as possible, assess the needs of your job. Think about exactly who the right person, who do you want to join your team? Ensure your company brand is inclusive. Quite often, brands are so corporate, they're not friendly, they're not welcoming, and you need to think about your branding. Think about the salary positioning. I've said already, think about your language. Be inclusive. Be bold. Look at the talent pools that you are approaching, and ensure you track your progress. And, oops. It's not clicking. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. Someone tell me it's not clicking. Okay, so, and remember, at the end of it, you have to remember that if you don't track and if you don't measure, you can't monitor and know where you're going. So what else can you do? You need to think about fluid gigs. We've all heard about fluid gigs, right? Have we heard about fluid gigs? Okay, so fluid gigs is looking at young people who want to do more than one thing. They don't necessarily want to be in one job with one contract. They might be in one job, but they would want to work across different departments, learn different things. When you look at decentralizing your workforce, how many of you already work from home sometimes? Yeah, so that's decentralizing your workforce. Think about it on a wider basis, maybe across the country, maybe across the world. You get more creative people, you get more creative input, and more people engaged. When you think about motivating your workforce, we all know about how to motivate our workforce, right? Yes? I do expect you to answer me. Okay, lifelong learning. Make sure that you continue to offer your employees lifetime learning. So when the possibility of an internal job comes along, they are ready to step up. Technology. Now, that's the biggest thing at the moment. Technology will augment our jobs. And if we're not ready and if we're not trained with the right technology, the fourth industrial revolution is going to come and pass us by, and we cannot afford to do that. And then, at the end of it, don't forget, there are some silver surfers in the room. Yes? We're still useful. Really, we are. So, oh, 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 what's happened? It's doing it again. Right, so in summary, really think about integrating your cultural experiences. It makes the whole world richer. It makes sense. No, don't only think about gender. Think about other abilities that are part of the diversity streams. When you think about, also need to think about mitigating unconscious bias. Everybody in this room has got a bias, whether you know it or not. I have, but the thing to do to make sure that it works for your job is to make sure we don't have biases that exclude others. It has to be inclusive. Accelerate your training and development. Make sure that you regularly are prepared to promote your employees from within. We talked about encouraging lifelong learning already. And ensure one of the biggest things, I don't know whether it's how big it is here, but in the UK, one of the biggest things is about mental well-being. It's really important to ensure that your employees are supported through any kind of difficulties they may have. Recruit with emotional intelligence. We all know about that. I think the next person up is going to talk about emotional intelligence. And one of the things that I really want to talk about is when this will come, and you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because we've all been talking about gender diversity here. But what about the intersectionality of race? And the way that you have to get over that is to make sure that you're comfortable that you are comfortable with being uncomfortable, because it can be an uncomfortable conversation. I've got to say, I love what's going on here, but I would love it more if I was more represented in the room. Only half of me is represented in the room. Thank you. And then, last but not least, be bold. Be bold. You know, think about, there's an American lady who coined this phrase, and it's all over the internet at the moment. I'm not going to claim it's mine. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and don't be colorblind, be color brave. So with that, yes, you can go ahead and clap. Someone was going to clap. With that, I hope that I've given you some things to think about, something that you can take away and perhaps look at integrating within your company. I know it was a fast-fire masterclass, if you like, but I hope that, like Socrates, as I said, I'm not here to teach you, but I certainly hope that I've given you something to think about. Have I? Yes. Oh, wow, you answered. Thank you very much.